10 grand by tomorrow morning. Listen, you want the dog, you give me 10. Simple. If you don't get it, I'll go to the cops and I'll get my dog back. That's the 10 grand that you wanted.
It's 10 grand.
I'm happy to pay you 10 grand for the dog. You know, he would have kept coming back. That's what he would have done. You can never change their mind.
Most men would have handed the dog over. Most men would have nodded, apologized, and walked back inside. Bob Saginowski is not most men. He looks like nobody, quiet, harmless. But by the end of this night, he'll leave 3 people dead, and no one will ever suspect him. Brooklyn, a neighborhood that remembers everything and forgives nothing. Bob tends bar at a place called Cousin Marvin's, a quiet, unremarkable spot on a quiet, unremarkable street. He shows up, he pours drinks, he goes home. Every day he lives the same routine. And that's exactly why nobody notices what he really is. Every Sunday he sits in the back of the church, doesn't talk to anyone, doesn't stay after Mass, just attends. Like a man fulfilling an obligation he made to himself a long time ago. The bar isn't just a bar, though. It's a drop site, a place where the Chechen mob funnels dirty money through the register, and nobody asks questions. Marvin, Bob's cousin and the bar's owner, lost the place to the Chechens years ago. He still runs it, he just doesn't own it anymore. And Bob keeps his head down, says very little. Asks nothing, because men like Bob understand something most people don't. The quieter you are, the longer you last. It happens on the walk home. Late, quiet, no one around. Then a sound. Weak, desperate. Bob stops, looks toward a trash can sitting on the edge of someone's lawn. For a moment, he almost keeps walking. And maybe he should have, but he doesn't. He lifts the lid. Inside, a dog. Beaten, bloody, barely moving, thrown away like it meant nothing, and for the first time, something in Bob shifts. The woman who lives there, Nadia, comes outside, careful at first, distant, but when she sees the dog, that distance disappears. She brings them inside, cleans the wounds, wraps the body like it's something worth saving. Bob watches, quiet, still, like he's trying to understand something he hasn't felt in a long time. He doesn't want the dog. Says it out loud, tries to pass it off, says it's not his problem, because taking responsibility means staying in one place. And Bob doesn't strike you as someone who ever planned to stay. But Nadia stops him, tells him if the dog goes back out there, it'll end up right back where it started, or worse. And Bob doesn't argue.
Someone beat the shit out of this dog. So hard, this breed. He's nothing but sweet.
You can take him. You take him.
No. I work nights. I work a lot.
It's just a couple days. I'll come back.
Saturday morning. It's just a bowl and some food. From now on, keep your shoes up on a shelf.
He takes the dog home, feeds it, watches it, keeps his distance at first, but not for long. He names it Rocco, and just like that, the quiet man who avoids problems has just taken something that belongs to someone else. Then the bar gets robbed. 2 men, fast, brutal. They pistol whip the bar back, clean out the register, and disappear into the night.
Do you know what the fuck you're doing?
Marv.
Fucking fill the bar! All right, just take it easy. You fucking talk too much.
Where's Roddy? How bad do I look? Don't move. It's not good.
The Chechens hadn't dropped their money yet that night. Lucky, but they're still furious. Their bar, their territory, their humiliation.
How much did they take you for?
Well, whatever was in the register.
Thing's a travesty.
Yeah, he took a pretty bad hit.
Why the fuck would you tell that cop about the watch?
It just came out.
Their enforcer, Chavka, shows up the next morning with a man tied up in his van, beaten half to death, just to remind Marvin and Bob what happens when people fail him. His message is simple. Find out who did this.
What have you done to get my father's money back?
Find my fucking money, eh?
But the dog wasn't abandoned, and the man who comes back for it is far worse than anyone Bob has dealt with so far. This is when Eric Deeds walks into Bob's life. He shows up at the apartment uninvited, steps inside without being asked, tells Bob the dog is his, he's got the registration to prove it. Then he picks up an umbrella from the holder by the door and walks out with it. No explanation, no threat, just takes it, like a man who wants you to know he can enter your space whenever he feels like it. Bob asks around. What he hears isn't good. Eric Deeds is the kind of man who takes credit for a murder. A local kid named Glory Days who disappeared years ago, not because he has to, but because he wants people to be afraid of him. Whether it's true or not almost doesn't matter. The man is unpredictable, and unpredictable men are dangerous.
You know that guy?
No.
He's the guy who says he killed Richie Whelan.
That's Eric Deeds?
Yeah, that's Eric Deeds.
Some fucking day, Mom.
Then things get darker. Taking out the trash behind the bar one night, Bob finds a bag hanging on a pole. Inside, blood-soaked dollar bills and a severed arm, still wearing the broken watch he'd noticed on one of the robbers the night of the stick-up. Marvin falls apart. Bob wraps the arm like it's leftover food from Sunday dinner. Calm, methodical, unbothered.
Whatever's in here adds up to what we lost the other night.
It's like you're wrapping a piece of meat. Like you've done it 1,000 times. You wonder if you hadn't mentioned the watch, maybe?
No, I don't.
He drives to a nearby lake and throws it in, comes back, finishes his shift, and that's the moment, if you're paying attention, when you realize Bob Saginowski is not who he appears to be. Here's what Bob already suspects, and what we slowly begin to understand. Marvin orchestrated the robbery himself. He's been seething for years. His bar, his neighborhood, his name on the door, until the Chechens took it all. And now he's invisible, just another employee in a place he used to own. So he planned it, used Eric as a pawn, used the robbery as a first move towards something bigger. His real target, the Super Bowl night drop. The biggest cash collection of the year. He even kills Fitz, his own accomplice, to keep him quiet, runs him over with his own car, backs over him in the dark and drives away. Marvin is not a good man pretending to be desperate. He's a desperate man pretending to be good. Super Bowl Sunday, the bar is packed. The drop money is flowing in. Bob quietly collects envelope after envelope, deposits them in the safe, pours drinks, and watches. Then Nadia walks in with Eric. Bob doesn't move, doesn't react, just watches from behind the bar with those still unreadable eyes. Eric approaches, tells Bob he wants the money from the safe. $10,000 for the dog isn't enough anymore.
The microchip and the license, like we agreed. That's the 10 grand that you wanted.
It's 10 grand.
I'm happy to pay you 10 grand for the dog.
He wants it all. Bob says no. Eric gets nervous, fidgety. He asks where Marvin is, and that's when Bob starts talking. Bob tells Eric a story about a kid who owed Marvin money, who went to Atlantic City, won big, and paid every cent back, and how Marvin, rather than let that debt die, killed the kid and kept the winnings to pay off his own debt to the Chechens. Glory Days didn't disappear because of Eric. Glory Days disappeared because of Marvin.
I wouldn't know that, Bob. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. His name was Richie Whelan.
I killed Richie Whelan, all right?
Eric never killed anyone. He just told people he did. The room goes silent. Nadia goes home. Bob tells her she's safe. She believes him.
I won't talk, Bob.
I know you won't.
Outside, Marvin is already dead. The Chechens found him parked nearby, waiting for Eric's signal that never came.
No one ever sees you coming, do they, Bob?
Chovka had him killed on his way to the bar. When Chovka arrives and sees Eric's body, he doesn't ask many questions. He orders his men to clean it up. Then he turns to Bob. He offers him the bar, his name on the door. Bob takes it in.
Take down his name, put up yours. Bob's Bar. Oh man, everything gonna be okay. Good night.